I'm Chris Barreca. I'm a scenic designer. I teach at CalArts. I have been for 18 years. I've been designing for over 30 years, and I've been in the entertainment business since I was 16 years old. When you start any production, any show, it is opaque and seems impossible. Rocky particularly seemed impossible. It seemed impossible to the writers and director too, to all of us. The pleasure came in taking something very, very complicated and finding how to make a simple machine that would conquer this problem in a way that make it beautiful. The specific problem in Rocky was that it has 50 scenes, some of which are 30 to 40 seconds long. And all of those scenes needed to deliver both emotional content but also physical content. And that the challenge was finding a way to do both with the space. And that is what people have, the thing that's nicest for me is people have said to me that's what they felt. That somehow in the movement of the space, I've managed to emotionally follow the piece at the same time that I'm physically following it, and it's seamless. The most exciting thing about winning an award is having that moment in which you can actually acknowledge all the people that have made that possible and the emotion that you feel when you get to do that. And in my case, that included an enormous number of my students. And that was a great pleasure. One of the great things about being a teacher is that I'm training my students in a process. And because I'm a professional, that means that my process is something I actually use every day. It's not abstract. It is intellectual, but it's intellectual in the sense that I have to figure out how to teach somebody to do something that I do, and to help them find a way to find their own process that will allow them to make their work, to give them the tools to do that. But it has this great advantage that when they get out of school, they know my process really well and I know them really well, even before they've ever really worked for me. And in the case of Rocky, because I needed so many assistants, I had at sometimes a couple of dozen people working for me. And they were all students and alumni. So in the process of doing that, that meant that I would have alumni who had I brought alumni back who had been my assistants like 7 or 8 years ago. I needed so many people and I needed such expertise. I reached back to assistants and former students of mine who were off working successfully on their own, but I needed them back. But that was great because they were able to lead and teach the students and those who had recently graduated how to make it happen and how to make the work happen and how to fit into the process. By the time I was done, almost every student that I have was working on the show. I had costume designers working on it. I had video designers working on it. I had other faculty that I got into the project to do the video design because it was so important to my work. An award really doesn't change anything. I'm the same person today that I was 3 days ago. What it does change is that it's like a milestone. You achieve something like that and it releases another kind of energy, mostly because you somehow feel freer. Freer to take risks again. That's a wonderful byproduct of it. I feel freer today than I did 3 days ago.